Is anyone here looking for personalized, scalable engagement? Show of hands. All right, you're in the right room. That is what we are going to get the secret to. So hope you're excited about that. And here to talk about it, we have Isabel Davis. She is VP of Digital and E-commerce at Pattern. So we're going to hear from her and her journey of increasing some of these metrics, along with Meyar Cheik, who is the global president of Insider. I've known Meyar for more years than probably either of us would want to admit. He's a veteran visionary in terms of personalization and marketing technology for retailers and e-commerce. So it's going to be a great conversation. So please join me in welcoming Isabel and Meyar to the stage.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Hope you're staying cool. New York, it's great to be back here. I have to admit, I'm a former recovering New Yorker. I live in San Diego now for the last 25 years, but it's always to come back here and feel the energy. Hopefully this will be a good session for you. And what I'd like to do is, Isabel has already been introduced, but I'd love, Isabel, for you to give a little more background about yourself, and I'll do that too, but...
Sure, yeah. So Isabel Davis, I'm really excited to be talking to you all about what we're doing with Pattern Beauty and our venture into AI personalization. I have over 15 years of experience in beauty and then 15 years in e-com, so it's the perfect meld for what we're doing today at Pattern.
So Scott was very kind about introducing me. I have been in this space for 25 years in digital marketing, analytics, personalization, and there are probably some of you in the room who were my former clients. My company I founded in 2004 was called Certona, and Certona, we were the first, I guess back in 2004, they didn't call it AI, but we were the first machine learning, neural network-based product recommendation engine that did real-time profiling and delivering personalized content and products in real time to the site visitors. And what was interesting, like in 20 years in this industry, obviously a lot's happened with e-commerce, the tech stack, innovation. But I remember back then we would be going to prospects and they just wouldn't believe all this AI stuff. It was so hard to convince people to, especially merchandisers who are very they have instincts and gut feel, and they said, oh, no machine, no algorithm is gonna outperform us. So we used to always have to do A/B tests and bake-offs and kind of duke it out. And fast forward, now you can't really have a conversation without dropping AI in there. So it's nice to see the industry has come so far, and there's so much opportunity you all know, at the pace the AI innovation is going, it's really crazy, frantic, and exciting. Sometimes scary, but exciting, and mostly exciting. A lot of innovations, and hopefully some of it we'll talk about today. It'll be informative for you. What I always say, these sessions, you're eating, multitasking, doing a lot of things, catching up on emails. If you can take one or two nuggets or takeaway from any session, it's worthwhile. So hopefully you'll do that. And if there's time left, we can have Q&A if I stop talking, Isabel. A little about Insider. Some of you may not know us. I'd like to say we're the 800-pound gorilla some people haven't heard of. We've been around for 12, 13 years. We're a global SaaS provider, one of the fastest growing SaaS MarTech companies in the world. We have offices in 28 countries, amazing brands, and we've been fortunate to have great investors, including Sequoia Capital at the beginning. And we recently closed our E round of a whopping $500 million, which is crazy, honestly, but it just shows you how much excitement there is in the industry about AI and the potential of AI and personalization. This is a little geeky slide for you to know what we do. We're all about personalization. It's all about taking data from different sources, visitor data, behavioral profiles, transactions, loyalty, feedback. All that data helps you build an enriched profile of your customer. And then, the machine learning and AI magic can really leverage that data to be delivered in different channels, right? On the web, mobile app, in email, SMS. In other countries, WhatsApp is really huge for business marketing, not in the US yet. Push, that's one of the things we do, including social channels. So we have the widest, most comprehensive range of channels and touch points to be able to deliver real-time predictive personalization based on the data that we're collecting. And, I've been saying this for a quarter of a century now. It's all about data, right? Without good data, no magic happens. Even the most innovative AI engines can't really, it's the garbage in, garbage out thing. So good data is really, and data hygiene is important. It's just a sampling of our clients around the globe. We're in different industries. We also have, as you can see, non-retail clients, but about 70% or more of our clients are brands and retailers. And we're proud to be on the analysts love us, our customers love us. That's even more important. So Gartner, we're the Magic Quadrant for personalization. And just last week, we got the 2025 Gartner Peer Insights Award, which is really great because this is coming from their customers. They've got our mutual Gartner and our customers who are voting on us for multi-channel marketing hubs. And as of this morning, the center one with G2 is already outdated. We just got new summer of 2025 rankings, and again, we're leading in 11 categories, and G2, as you know, is also voted by customers. So we're really, really proud of that. And with that, I think the infomercial for Insider is over, and would love to hear more about Pattern, Isabel.
Sure, yeah. So Pattern Beauty, our CEO and founder is Tracy Ellis-Ross. Some of you may know her from the show Girlfriends and another show as well as called Blackish. But she's also a fashion icon. And this brand was 10 years in the making. A lot of people basically shut the door saying she couldn't do it. But it happened, and she made it happen. And the product is specifically created for any consumer that has naturally textured hair. So that's curly, coily, tight textured, protective styles, straightened styles. There's basically a product for everybody. But the formulations are very much a curly first. So curly, coily, tight textured first, which is awesome. She's very involved in the brand, I can tell you. She cares about every model picture and every product launch and all the hundreds of formulations and versions of a formula. She tests them all. So yeah, very, very involved. And so we knew that because our consumer is so dynamic and has so many hairstyles and hair types that we really needed to bring personalization to our consumer journey. And so we were asking the question, how do we leverage first-party data so that we can personalize this experience. What categories are our consumers interested in? What's the season, right? So we wanted to make sure that we did that without losing our brand voice. And that's when we connected with Insider.
So I'm old enough to know her mother, not
Diana
personally,
Ross, yeah.
Diana Ross, but it's amazing. I think you guys have done an amazing job. And full disclosure, I'm not a customer. Shocker. But love to hear more about some of the goals you had for personalization.
Yeah. So we have a lot of different touch points when it comes to the first-party data. So as an example, there's a curl guide on our website. So if you have braids in and you click protective styles, then when you come back to the site, you should see something that says, best sellers for braids, as an example. If you take certain actions on the site in terms of categories you're interested in, so maybe you're interested in conditioners or hair masks, then we want to make sure that those return customers see the products that they've already purchased, and also what are the products that they're interested in, what are the products that actually work together best, right? So leveraging first-party data is really, really important for us.
And one of the things I've been hearing from many customers, and especially brands, is data-driven solutions like Insider and others. They're good, but they don't understand the brand, right? And sometimes the personalization, the recommendation is off-brand, and balancing that is hard, right? Because brand is such a kind of a vague thing, right? It's more emotions and connection, right?
Yeah.
So and then scaling personalization. It's one thing, again, I think a smart merchandiser can really do a great job, but he or she can't scale.
Yeah.
So how do you balance that between that authenticity?
I mean, I think for the scaling piece, it takes time, right? So if you do venture into AI personalization, you can't expect results right away. So it's really that first phase is like data gathering, and then there comes a lot of testing. So specifically to your point about brand, it's testing like what is it that we think is right to display to the customer in merchandising. And actually, I think if you go to the next one, it shows Smart Recommender. What we believe that the customer wants to see versus what is AI saying that the customer wants to see. So one of the items that you have, I think it's on the next slide, is
sorry,
that.
I go back. I just want to stay on this for 1 second. Is this, like, from the audience, is this really, to me, this is representative, regardless of, like, any brand would have these kind of goals or challenges. So does that resonate with everyone? Yeah, and I don't think it's it is in an order of priority, I guess, right?
Right. I mean, it's we want all of it all the time, basically.
And to your point, it's a journey, right? Like, you see these case studies where, I don't know, things happen after 30 days magically.
Right.
That's just not.
No, it takes time. You have to be patient. And there's a lot of testing, and you can't rush the tests.
Yeah. Yeah. So one of the things, one of the use cases you have is what we call in-story. In-story, that's just the insider term. It's not an industry term. It's where you see those Instagram-like bubbles. It's really to replicate that Instagram experience, because we're also trained to click on those circles and bubbles, but there's more immersive, rich experiences in there. Can you talk to that?
Yeah, this is actually what brought me to Insider, because I said, okay, we know that our consumers are very mobile first, and social users, like heavy social media users. And so bringing this kind of social media element to a product detail page was a very high interest to us. So there's a lot that can be done using in-story. So for example, if you're on a PDP, you can display additional images that people can click through at the top. And it depends when you see it, by the way, because you have to be specific consumer, like whether it's new or returning, or like what are the different facets that when this is displayed to you and which products. But for example, you can see product in use in hair as an image or an animated GIF that shows like application. Or you can see products that are recommended with the product that you're viewing. So it really is a powerful engine to give more in-depth information in a very visual way, and bringing the product to life.
In fact, you can try it out now. Go to your, pay attention, please. Well, the next one, obviously near and dear to my heart, smart product recommendations. Roughly how many SKUs do you have?
It's about 75 SKUs.
Okay.
And when it comes to merchandising, right, it's a completely different experience whether you're a new customer or a return customer. So what is displayed when you're on a category page needs to be different depending on what you're interested in. So for example, if you're a new consumer, you may have already identified as a brand what are your gateway products. And so what are those products that get the customer through the door, that first touch point? If you're a new consumer, you want to show those first within that category. It can't just be however you merchandise and like mass blast, right? And then if you're returning and someone's already purchased a shampoo, then you want to show them, here are the conditioners that work for the shampoo because you're already in that wash category, right? So this is really important because it's also, it just changes constantly. Even like the complexities of like seasonality, right? So right now we're in braid season, it's summertime. So if someone has braids and then they go onto the styling page, you're like, okay, well I wanna show curl mousse because curl mousse goes with braids. So like being able to connect all of these dimensions to be able to personalize that journey, that's the goal.
Yeah. Do you see any, you mentioned like, patterns, no pun intended, like summertime or, weather. Yeah. What are some of the other trends or variables that might change? Is the demographics, certain demographics have different within your customer base?
I would definitely say there's seasonality. So for example, a lot of our customers may not want to straighten their hair when it's the most humid time of the year, or maybe that's something they do. And so really each consumer is so different, and each moment in time of when different types of stylers are used, for example, are so different. So the AI engine starts to learn, right? So it starts to say, oh, this consumer seems to be in this profile interested in these types of products and may possibly be curious about these categories, so let's show that to them front and center. And so that's where you see like recommended for you.
Yeah. What about, so one of the capabilities we have is also doing like geo-targeting, right? So yeah, it's summertime, but obviously San Diego has much nicer weather now than New York in terms of just climate. Are you doing any of that yet? Like to say, we're gonna show different things, different parts of the country? We
definitely want to. I would say that would be like the phase 2 of where we wanna be. Because, it's different. If you're in California, it's really dry. Here, apparently, it's really humid. I'm from LA, I didn't know New York could get this humid. So, so I think that's definitely one of the next steps for us.
Are all the consumer tastes also different regardless of weather, right? Like, New Yorkers are different from Californians?
I don't know if I can get that detailed, but it's a good question to ask. I don't know.
Well, our AI can pick that up.
Okay.
Automatically. Well, the last use case was really reducing abandonment with social proof. So this is when, I guess, you see she's put something in her cart, and we can detect, our technology can detect if someone has an exit intent, and we can score that and detect it and flag it, and then have some kind of a message or offer. So in this case, what are you doing exactly?
Yeah, so with an exit intent, which I highly recommend if anyone does not have exit intent pop-ups on your site, definitely implement that. We were A/B testing. This is what we call our FOMO pop-up because it's, how many people are looking at the product, how many people have it in cart versus a gift with purchase. And we did this A/B test, and what we realized was that they were basically neck and neck. So we said, okay, if the results are similar, then let's not spend additional on a gift with purchase if consumers are reacting just as positively to this FOMO piece, right? So then there's like margin savings, for example. And then when do you show it to the customer, right? And with what product, of course, like product they were looking at. So that predictive exit intent, it's been really, really positive for us in terms of results.
And how are you doing the A/B testing?
Yeah, so we set it up with Insider. So Insider, they do have a whole technology team, a development team that helps to create these tests for us. So our developer actually doesn't create these tests within Insider. So they go and they set it up, and you can say, okay, I would like to test these 2 scenarios. And then we have a full testing roadmap that we haven't even scratched the surface of everything that we want to do. But then, yes, you set it up that way.
Yeah. So one of the many nice things about Insider is, we do have built-in A/B testing and multivariate testing, and it's literally like with one click of a mouse, you can set up tests and control groups, and so you don't have to rely on another third-party testing tool to do the tests. And about 3 years ago, when I decided to join Insider, I sold my company, Certona, a few years back, was thinking about retiring, and I really fell in love with the platform. It's modular, it's integrated, all natively developed. So we haven't put this together through acquisitions of different solutions. It's all natively developed. Everything fits together, so you can have a module for personalization, a different one for recommendations, search, testing, and it's modular. And like Lego pieces, it comes together. But besides that, the thing that really drew me was the user interface and how it empowers non-technical users to, what I like to say, learn fast and fail fast, right?
Yeah, we've done that too, yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm obviously biased, and you have a team. I don't know how much you get into the UI, but what is your impression of how easy it is to use? Or how hard?
Well, no, you're right about that. I don't get into the tool myself, but I think the part that's easiest is looking at data. So there's a very robust analytics piece to Insider where you can see, what are the results? What are some of the segments that you're looking at? How are some of your tests performing? But then we also, of course, meet very regularly with our account manager to be able to review those results and pivot when we need to.
Yeah, and we offer that for all of our clients, kind of a full staff to help and partner and continuously learn, optimize and learn, right? Because to your point, everything is changing, moving, nothing is static.
Yep, that's right.
So in terms of what's next, I know you got a long list of projects in your queue, some of it with us, with other providers. How do you plan to leverage your data and our capabilities?
Yeah, so I think right now we're leveraging first-party data, but I think the next stage is really to leverage the zero-party data. So zero-party data being like, what is the consumer telling you about themselves firsthand? And so the perfect example is our curl quiz. So if a consumer does say, for example, I have locks, then we want to make sure that when that consumer goes to the site, they're seeing information on locks. They're seeing information on low porosity hair, for example. So like, what are the different things that they're telling us? How do we personalize that experience with that zero-party data? In addition to the curl quiz, we've done some pretty in-depth consumer studies, and we've identified 4 consumer profiles. So who is our customer, right? And as an example, I even wrote them here so I wouldn't forget, but we've got Fierce Flow, we got Baller Brianna. So for example, Fierce Flow is the educated mom. She does a ton of product research. She watches a lot of YouTube videos, super savvy, right? Like what's her experience on site versus Baller Brianna? Baller Brianna has the money, she's down to spend because if she falls in love with the product, she's like, yes, I'm all in and it's okay if it's a premium product because I'm worth it, right? So these different consumer profiles, we have this information.
You got 4 of them, right? Mm-hmm. What are the other 2 quick?
Okay, so Comfortable Kathy, and then Comfortable Kathy likes to go to church. She's like a very loyalist for brands. And then we have Adaptable Asher, who's a Gen Z, experimental with products and beauty. But yeah, so these consumer profiles is something that we have that's very tangible. Then how do we bring that tangible piece into Insider to continue to personalize the experience and to continue to develop that like white glove service, right? That product recommendation that's just right for you.
Yeah.
So that is definitely our next step.
And one other thing I want to point out in this previous slide with the quizzes. So Insider also offers you, we have a built-in CDP, a customer data platform. So any information, behavioral, transactional, reviews, responses to these quizzes, which are highly personalized and accurate because they're coming from the consumer, all that gets put back into that individual consumer's profile so that Pattern can use that, leverage that for any kind of personalization. So this is very important, and the more quizzes there are, the more we're collecting this data for zero-party data, right? For you. And then with respect to these different profiles, we also have some built-in segmentation where we can also see, in addition to this, who's more of a discount chaser, who's a brand loyalist, who is not sensitive to price, like Brianna.
Baller Brianna,
right?
yeah.
And so we can layer that in with, which is more from the data we're collecting from the entire customer community, and then kind of merge that with these personas to really create these interesting hyper-personalized experiences. Are you doing anything around, as you know, we also do personalized journey orchestration across different channels. Are you planning to follow that through email, SMS, push,
Yes,
social?
push for sure. And for push, for example, like we have our 4th of July sale, we have it every single year. If there's a product that you are looking at, you can set up push notifications so that in your web browser it'll say, your favorite leave-in conditioner is now on sale, as an example. And so we want to leverage push more. We also, we want to see how we can feed data, of course, back into search, back into Meta, back into our paid ads, so that we can tap into consumer lookalikes, right? So our customer lookalikes, and then who else can we possibly target that is like the perfect consumer for Pattern, right?
So, thank you, Isabel. Anything you want to share with the audience about anything exciting? You want to give them a sneak preview?
Okay, this is an insider scoop.
No pun intended.
That's right, that's right. Hopefully you can follow Tracy Ellis Ross. She's really funny and so cool to follow, and she's just such an advocate for females, and yeah, she's incredible. You should definitely follow her on Instagram. On Friday, there's gonna be a really cool, exciting drop with some of her girlfriends. So you should definitely stay tuned and make sure you follow.
That's nice suspense.
Yeah.
Build nice
I don't know, I can't say anymore.
Yeah, you don't want to spill the beans.
Yeah.
But that's great. Isabel, thank you very much for this session. And I think, do we have time for questions? Yes. Great.
This was terrific. I'm Barbara Thau from Co. by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. I'm curious about, can you unpack one of the goals and the from the start to the ROI? In other words, the shop, what was it called? Shop, one of your...
The product recommendations?
Yeah, like and what, just how you got from point A to point C.
Yeah, so typically we do our own, well, before this, we were doing our own merchandising, right? So we would say, okay, at the top that needs to be displayed above the fold when you land on a category, these are the products we think that we should put at the top of the page. When we implemented the smart product recommendations, it's saying recommended for you. And it may not even be the category that you're looking at. So for example, you might be on a shampoo and conditioners page, and there might be a brush that appears. But Smart Recommender knows that this customer matches a profile that says, okay, I will buy a shampoo, that's what I'm interested in, but actually, like, I'll probably pick up a brush too. So that is how you're doing this. It's an upsell opportunity, a cross-sell opportunity. So that's where you see the conversion lift and the higher likelihood of adding to cart. It's because it's made for you in a way that we can't detect.
Thanks again for your time.
Thanks, everybody.